Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video we will be covering the topics what is continuous integration and what is continuous delivery. Then we will be walking through on what are Jenkins pipeline and why we should use them. And by the end of this video we will be creating our own Jenkins pipeline job. So without any delay, let's get started. So I have this blog post already written. I will be giving the URL in the description. Feel free to read it through here. Now, here are the basic definition which I have already written for what is continuous integration, what is continuous delivery, and how should we achieve them. So, continuous integration basically means that it's a continuous process of building your application, testing your application, and then deploying the same application. A automated process to do the continuous integration is known as continuous delivery. So that's about the definition. And if we combine both of them, that following the continuous integration process in an automated way, it's something which we called a pipeline. In short, a pipeline basically is the actual implementation of continuous integration to achieve continuous delivery. To make a Jenkins pipeline, we have two methods basically. One is building the Jenkins pipeline with freestyle job, and one is writing the code itself in form of a Jenkins pipeline. Each of these has their own advantages and disadvantages. First method which we will be following here is using the build pipeline plugin, which basically can be a formation of all the freestyle job. Let's clear this point that Jenkins pipeline job and pipelines are two different terms. Pipeline is just a basic definition of achieving continuous delivery by automating continuous integration, and Jenkins pipeline is the actual code which we write. It is the actual integration of all the tools like Git, Shell, Python to form a pipeline that can do things for us. So let's go to our Jenkins server and install the plugin build pipeline. Now, if you do not know how to install a plugin, you can check out my previous video hovering somewhere here or here in the I button. Manage Jenkins, plugins, available plugins, build pipeline. Now it is already giving these warnings, and I will also not recommend you to use this method for the long term, because for that we will be using the Jenkins pipeline, which is writing Jenkins files. Plugin is installed. Go back to the dashboard. Now to make a pipeline with build pipeline plugin, use the upstream and downstream trigger mechanism, and this plugin will automatically form a pipeline out of that. Now, if you do not know how to set the triggers, you can check out my video on the same, again hovering somewhere here or here in the I button. So let me create two different job, and for again that as well a video will be popping somewhere here or here if you do not know how to create a Jenkins job. So the job 1 is kind of the main stage I will be having for this pipeline. Then job 2 is automatically will be triggering once I have completed the job 1, and then job 3 will automatically trigger once the job 2nd will be completed. So it will form this chain kind of thing which we are calling a pipeline. Now to create a pipeline out of these 3 jobs, we have to create a new view, which can be done by clicking this tiny plus button here. Let me click here and let me say pipeline 1, and instead of any other views we will be selecting build pipeline view. This option is coming only because we have installed that build pipeline plugin. As soon as I create the same and pass, it will ask me to provide the main, or you can say the first stage of the pipeline, which is in our case job 1. It has automatically selected the same for us, and if I hit the OK button, so it has this different view for us apart from the one which we show in the dashboard. It's not listing everything like this. Now to go back to the same pipeline, we can click this view which we recently created. Initially we have to trigger the job, the actual job which we created, like the job 1, and once I start that job, then only the pipeline will be visible on this view. So let us do that. Open the dashboard and go to job 1 and build the same job from here. Now if we go back to the dashboard, you see the job 1 is completed. It is scheduling the job 2, and then it will be scheduling job 3. So now if I refresh the pipeline view, you see I get this formation here. This is the job 1 which is acting as a first stage of the pipeline. This is the second job which is acting as the second stage stage of the pipeline, and this is the name, like the view name which we have given, and this is like the execution number of the pipeline, that first execution of pipeline. Then this is the stage 1 of the pipeline. This is the details for the same. Now I can even start or like check the console from here as well for the same job. The another thing is that if you execute the job via this button, it will not execute the next job behind the same. For that we have to execute the entire pipeline again. Okay, by mistake we have set the job 3 in job 3 for triggering. Let me set it to job 2, and now if I restart the pipeline, so once I have corrected the job 3 and I started the job 1 again, you can see that I have all the pipelines listed right here in a proper format, where job 1 is our first step or stage, then job 2 is the second stage, and job 3 is the third stage. So this is one way of combining multiple freestyle jobs into a single pipeline. So this is all about creating a Jenkins pipeline using freestyle job, and creating pipeline while writing the actual code is something which I will be covering in the next video. So stay tuned for the same. Feel free to subscribe the channel, share the video, and thanks for watching.